Hi, remember we're still reading Same Sun Here. We're reading pen pal letters between Mina, who lives in New York, and River, who lives in Kentucky. So let's see, right now we are on page 24, and River is going to write back to Mina. Page 24. 23rd of August, 2008. Dear Mina, sorry my last letter wasn't longer. I was running late for basketball practice and just wanted to get something in the mail to you. But I still don't think I can write as much as you. You asked what I look like. I am red-headed with freckles across my nose and shoulders. Mama says the freckles are because our people are originally from Scotland and Ireland. So I guess when you really think about it, we are all from some other place, way off the ocean. Mama is half Cherokee, so I have her big nose. People give me a hard time about it and call me Toucan Sam sometimes, but I don't care. I kind of like my nose. Mama says I will grow into it and it will be the best thing about me. I wish I was taller so I could be a better basketball player. Lately, I have been doing this leg stretching exercise my buddy Mark told me about, where you squat down and put one leg out at a time behind you as far as you can. It's supposed to make you taller. I've only been doing it about a week, and already, according to my measuring tape, I've grown 1/16 of an inch. It's pretty amazing. It's weird that you are originally from the mountains because that's where I live now. I looked up where you were born online, and it's cool because the mountains there look so much like mine, with pine trees and everything. I always expected India to only have big palm trees for some reason. You said your mama wouldn't like to come to America because she would miss the mountains too much. So maybe she could move here instead of New York City. At least that way she'd be closer to you than she is now, way over in India. I bet you she'd like the mountains here. My uncle sells houses and could find her a place. Let me know if you need any help with this. We have an Indian who lives here, Dr. Patel. My mama goes to him because she has sugar diabetes, and they are always laughing together. He says that she reminds him of his mother, and you should hear the way he says Mama Justice. That's what he calls her. It's funny with his accent, although Mama says it's not polite to laugh at him over that, and he must be real smart to even be able to learn our language and to be a doctor besides. We have seen him and his wife at the Piggly Wiggly before, and she has a red dot on her forehead. Do you? I would like to know how those things work. Are they glued on there, or is it magic marker, or what? I don't understand, and Mama always elbows me when I stare at her. My father is nothing like Mama, though. He was always making fun of anybody who is different. He used to say the N-word all the time, especially when we were watching basketball. But now he is friends with all kinds of Black people down there in Biloxi. He works with them. So I wonder if he still says that word. I hope not. It makes me feel tight inside, like I'm smothering. You asked if I've been to New York City. Ha! I've never been anywhere except to Dollywood, which is a big amusement park not too far away, with this awesome roller coaster called Thunderhead. You should ride it sometime. When somebody is real sick, they get sent to the hospital in Knoxville, and that's where Mom used to go to shop for my school clothes on tax-free day. So I've been there a few times. It's the only city I really know, but it's too loud and there are too many cars. The houses are right on top of each other. I don't believe I could stand it without my woods. You asked me about music. We have been studying poetry at school and how it doesn't have to rhyme. So I think I'll write this next part like a poem. I mostly like the music that my parents were always playing back when we all lived together on Free Creek. Sometimes in the evenings, Daddy would put on his favorite album, which was by Tom Petty, and he'd play this song called Wildflowers. Daddy would put me up on his hip and Mama would lean in real close and we were like a circle going round and round the room. This one time I remember Mom putting her head against Daddy's and singing all the words with her eyes closed. Sometimes I think that was the last time we were all together, but I don't know if I just have it that mixed up in my mind or not. When I'm missing my parents real bad, I put on that CD and listen to it and feel sadder, even during the real fast and happy songs. Actually, one reason I did that was because my English teacher gave us homework to write a poem about a memory. So after I typed that, I realized it was a memory and I could kill two birds with one stone by writing to you about it, but also making the poem for English class. Do you think it's any good? The student says that the main thing is to make every line of poetry a mystery so that the reader wants to go on and read the next line. I thought that was pretty cool when she said that, because I always thought the most important thing was to make it rhyme. But she said no, and nowadays poems that rhyme are kind of lame. We all laughed because it was funny to hear a teacher say something is lame. Don't you think so? The only poetry I've ever read is Sharon Creech stuff, like in Love That Dog. And I love this poem by Joyce Kilmer. The only part I know by heart is, I think I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree. Mama recites the whole poem sometimes when we are walking in the hills. She says it real loud, the way preachers will boom out a big prayer sometimes right in the middle of church. Anyway, I did try to put in as much mystery in my poem as I could, but I still don't know what to call it. I've been reading it over and over, but I can't think of a title. I think I'll just call it my memory poem, or maybe Wildflowers, or maybe a memory. I don't know. Oh, there's one more thing you need to know about me to meet me. I also have a dog, Rufus, who is the best dog that ever was. Everybody says so. I have had him since I was 4 years old. I am 12 now, and he is the best friend anybody could ever ask for. He will run around and play with me if I'm in the mood for that, or he will sit real quiet with me and look out in the mountains too, if that's what I'm in the mood for. He always goes along with me and Mama when we go walking in the cool of the day. That's what Mama calls it, the cool of the day. When we go fishing, Rufus just lies down on the creek bank with his chin on top of his paws until we start to reel in a fish. Then he gets so excited that he runs back and forth along the water's edge with his tail wagging and his whole butt shaking. He's so wound up. Rufus smiles all the time. Have you ever seen a smiling dog? I don't know what kind he is. You old mutt, Daddy always says, and gives him a good pat on the side. Mama thinks he's a beagle, blue heeler, Jack Russell, and maybe even some pit bull. I put a picture of him in here. It's not a very good one because he moves around so much that it's hard to take a picture of him, but I got him to lie still by rubbing his belly. About that okra. Mama grows a big garden and okra is one of her favorite things. She says it's beautiful to look at and delicious to eat. When it's ready, she slices it up and soaks it in buttermilk, then rolls it in meal and flour and fries it in the skillet. It's delicious, especially with fried green tomatoes. One time Daddy was eating some of Mama's okra and he said, "This is so good you have to pat your foot to eat it." And we all laughed like it was way funnier than it really was. Have you ever heard of a fried green tomato? It's the best thing in the world, guaranteed. I guess I better go get my chores done. I have to mow the yard this evening. I can't believe I wrote so much. That's what happens when I get to typing. My mother taught me to type when I was only 8 because she said that a person can't do anything nowadays if they don't know their way around a computer. And I can type almost as good as I can play basketball. I'm not meaning to brag. It's just those are the only two things I can really do good at all. I suck at a lot of things, especially mechanical things. Mama is all the time having to put the chain back on my bicycle because I can never figure out how. I'm terrible at cooking too. I can't even make a peanut butter sandwich right. I always tear the bread when I'm trying to spread the peanut butter. What are you good at? I sure hope you'll write me back. Tell me more about New York City. I can't imagine what it's like to live there with all those taxi cabs and people in suits going to plays all the time and eating at the Rainbow Room. I don't believe I'd like it, but it sounds like an exciting place to visit. Sincerely yours, Riverdene Justice. P.S. The movie star your brother is thinking of is River Phoenix, who died 2 or 3 years before I was born. My mother always loved him, but I'm not really named for him as much as I am for the rivers of this place. P.P.S. Sorry this letter is typed on paper that has already been used on one side, but Miss Didman taught us about the environment last year, and she says that it's better to reuse before you recycle. So that's what I'm doing here. Just ignore the writing on the back. It's stuff Mama had typed out about some kind of mining she's getting informed about. She's always saying that she's getting informed about something. Okay, there's River's letter to Mina. I'll see you soon.